Hey everyone, welcome to another installment of Harry Potter Theory. Today we're tackling one of the hottest questions in the entire series. Why didn't Harry Potter keep the Elder Wand after he defeated Voldemort? Before we get stuck in, the first thing I'll point out is that the answer really depends on whether you're looking at the events of the books or the films, because the fate of the Elder Wand plays out quite differently in each. In the books, after repairing his own wand, Harry lays the Elder Wand to rest with Dumbledore. "I'm putting the Elder Wand," he told Dumbledore, who was watching him with enormous affection and admiration, "back where it came from. It can stay there. If I die a natural death like Ignotus, its power will be broken, won't it? The previous master will never have been defeated. That'll be the end of it." In the film, however, a very different course of action is taken, as Harry dramatically snaps it in half. "It's mine. What should we do with it?" I'm just saying, that's the Elder Wand, the most powerful wand in the world. With that, we'd be invincible. Harry pauses and has second thoughts, then snaps the Elder Wand in half, destroying its power before tossing the two halves into the abyss. Ron and Hermione proudly smile at Harry. The Elder Wand, first of the Deathly Hallows, is the stuff of legend. Said to be crafted by Death himself, it's the most powerful wand to ever exist, a weapon of unimaginable might, and by the end of Deathly Hallows, it belongs to Harry. Yet, instead of making the decision to keep the wand for himself and wield a magical item of immense power, Harry decides to either snap it or bury it with Dumbledore. At first glance, this seems strange, even foolish. Why surrender such an advantage after barely surviving Voldemort? Wouldn't keeping the Elder Wand make Harry an unstoppable aura, a force capable of enforcing peace across the wizarding world? But here's the thing. One detail that does remain consistent between the book and the film is Harry's deep concern about the wand's immense power. Harry's actions from book to film were different, but there was also a consistent theme. Harry fears the power of the wand and doesn't want it used for evil. To truly understand his choice at the end of Deathly Hallows, we need to look more closely at Harry's relationship with power and the wand's cursed legacy. Harry didn't grow up with privilege or entitlement. He grew up in a cupboard, unloved, treated as less than human. Magic, when he discovered it, wasn't about control, it was about freedom and belonging. Voldemort, in contrast, was raised in fear and obsessed with dominance. Dumbledore and Grindelwald, brilliant but flawed, were tempted by power and paid dearly for it. But Harry? He never wanted glory. His heroism is reluctant. Every time he steps up, it's because he has no choice. And all of this matters because the Elder Wand isn't just a tool, it's a symbol of supremacy. It invites obsession, duel, and danger. And Harry, after brutal 7 years of war and loss, wants peace. One need look no further than the wand's history to see the fate that awaits any witch or wizard who dares to wield it. The Elder Wand is undeniably the most powerful wand in the Harry Potter universe. It was the first Hallow created, made by Death himself, and no other wand is its equal. Possession of it allows magic other wands cannot match, but it comes with a curse. Its history is a trail of blood. Antioch Peverell, the first owner, was murdered in his sleep. Dark duelists such as Emmerich the Evil and Egbert the Egregious gained power and died violently. Gregorovitch tried to master it, Grindelwald stole it. Dumbledore, even as the wisest wizard of his time, feared its corruptive pull. Legends say Death created it to sow chaos, to pit wizard against wizard in an endless struggle for power. But even if that's myth, the harsh reality is that the wand has never had any semblance of peace whatsoever, only ambition and challenge. Possessing it paints a target on your back. Dark wizards seek it, fanatics whisper about it. Entire wars, like Grindelwald's, have been fueled by its allure. And for Harry, who had spent his adolescence hunted by Voldemort, witnessing the deaths of a godfather, mentors, friends, I can't imagine that he would have been too eager to unleash Pandora's box and encounter anything like that again. The film's take is simple yet powerful. Remove the temptation. From a cinematic perspective, it works. In one decisive moment, Harry snaps the most dangerous wand in history, eliminating the potential for it to ever be used again. It's visually striking, solves the problem, and is easy to grasp. It also delivers a clear moral: reject ultimate power, break the cycle of violence. But it also felt off, at least for me, and that's partially due to the fact that this contradicted the existing canon where Harry lays it to rest with Dumbledore. The other thing I took issue with was how easily Harry snapped it. Considering this was the most powerful wand ever made, it certainly seemed to snap rather easily. And this is especially confusing if we consider how long the wand had been around for and just how many times it had changed hands. Harry's approach in the books is quieter, but also a lot richer in lore. He wants to defuse the wand, not to smash it. His logic: if he dies naturally and undefeated, the Elder Wand's line of mastery will end. Its magic will remain powerful but directionless, unable to be claimed. The previous master will never have been defeated. That'll be the end of it. And this perfectly fits the Hallows myth. Remember Ignotus Peverell, the third brother in the tale of the three brothers? He accepted death peacefully. Harry too chooses humility over conquest. In some ways, the films rob us of that full circle moment. Harry's actions in the book were also deeply personal. He returns the wand to Dumbledore, the man who tried and often failed to handle power responsibly. It's Harry saying, "I'm not going to make the same mistakes." But here's the thing: as noble as Harry's actions were in both outcomes, his logic wasn't exactly perfect. Harry's belief, if I die undefeated, the wand's power ends, is naive. Life doesn't guarantee you won't be beaten. And Harry's chosen career path as an Auror, a dark wizard catcher, practically invites duels and danger. As long as Harry was still alive, the risk of him being disarmed or killed always existed, and whether he was actively wielding the wand or not, the person who bested him may become the Elder Wand's true owner. So in this respect, Harry's logic was flawed. Harry's initial reasoning was essentially, if I'm never defeated, no one can claim the wand's allegiance. But that was never realistic, especially for someone planning to become an Auror. However, and this is fascinating, the life of risk and danger that Harry would eventually follow is actually what could keep the Elder Wand safe. The fact that he would likely be disarmed by countless other people throughout his career who would unknowingly become masters of the Elder Wand, and that they themselves would likely be disarmed by countless other people, means that the path of the wand's ownership will become too convoluted to follow. So Harry's plan was accidentally effective, not because his theory was airtight, but because the real world is messy. Even beyond wand lore and magic, Harry had plenty of powerful personal reasons to leave the Elder Wand behind. After years of war and loss, he longed for peace, not another invitation to danger. Keeping the world's most notorious wand would make him a perpetual target, drawing in all sorts of dubious characters eager to claim its power. He had seen what obsession with supremacy could do: Voldemort's destruction, Grindelwald's rise, even Dumbledore's regrets, and wanted no part of it. To Harry, the Elder Wand wasn't just a tool. It was a symbol of death and conquest, a shadow he refused to carry into his future. And holding on to it would mean a lifetime of fending off challenges, putting Ginny and their future children at risk, and living under constant threat. Exactly the life he fought so hard to escape. There's also the larger myth, the Deathly Hallows themselves. With the Cloak of Invisibility, the Elder Wand, and knowledge of the Resurrection Stone's location, Harry could have easily become the true Master of Death, a figure with, in wizarding lore, literal power over life and death. And I suspect this would be a tempting path to go down for anyone. The chance to master death itself, to never be powerless again. Many witches and wizards spent their lives chasing even one of the Hallows. To hold all three would make Harry almost untouchable. He could have reshaped the wizarding world, imposed order, even frightened potential Dark Lords into submission before they ever rose. But that's the point. Harry doesn't want that kind of dominion. His story has always been about resisting the seduction of power, the very temptation that destroyed Voldemort and scarred Dumbledore. Instead of claiming mastery over death, Harry chooses to live despite it, to love, to heal, to build a quiet life rather than rule from above. Rowling has said it again and again. Harry isn't a power seeker, he's a survivor. Some fans still debate which conclusion feels more satisfying. The film's ending is clear, safe, and symbolic. Harry snaps the Elder Wand and casts it away, a dramatic act of finality that prevents anyone from using it and delivers an instantly clear message. But it also oversimplifies the lore and goes against established canon. The book's ending, by contrast, stays true to canon and honors the message of Ignotus Peverell. Harry chooses humility and peace over conquest. But it does also rest on a fragile assumption that he'll never be defeated, and leaves open the question of what might happen if someday someone robs Dumbledore's tomb. At the end of the day, Harry Potter's greatest victory wasn't defeating Voldemort. It was walking away from the same hunger for power that destroyed him. To me, the book is a clear winner here, but I'm curious to hear what you all think about this. Let me know down in the comment section below. Also, if you enjoy the content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, remember, it does not do to dwell on dreams and forget to live.